Yes, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and we are back with another video. The sun is shining. It is 7 a.m. and by God, it is nearly 29 degrees. Yes, my Australian friends. Yes, my American friends. Us Northern Englishmen are not used to this heat. I did have a vest on, but I thought I'd get criticised by a lot of the 40 to 45-year-old men in this chat who seem to comment on my hair and my clothing appearance. Shout out to you lot. We're back here with another rumour mill. Yes, I had the weekend off. Yes, I was in Greek Street in Leeds with a couple of pals, and by God, it was a tough Sunday. That's all I'll say. We're back here with the Rumour Mill, as I've said 45 times. Listen, if you want some bonus content, head on over to the Patreon account because we will have 2 videos out this week. The suggestion box is thriving on Monday morning. People are over there putting their suggestions in on what video they want me to do on Tuesday and Thursday. We will be doing a fan phone-in this week as well. Exciting times. I know you guys absolutely love that. We're going to try getting another Generation Leeds podcast out as soon as we can, of course. And yeah, we're just getting ready for the season, everybody. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the content. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, as I always say. And let's get into it. Also, I will say just a little caveat on the whole phone-in stuff. It's great to have absolutely everybody on that was on about a week ago now, which has been fantastic. I would like to say, guys, I think it's very important as well that we do give others a chance to speak as well. So it's going to be rotation settings. Do you know what I mean? 5 subs on, 5 subs off sort of thing every single week. So I apologize if some of you guys think you're going to be coming on every single week, but I want to give everybody a chance to speak, not just a select few, because then there's absolutely no variety, but I'll try my best to get everyone involved. It's going to be a max of like an hour each time. I think I might reduce it a little bit as well, just because it was a lot last time, an hour and 40, I think. And yeah, just want to keep it flowing and keep it going. So let's get into the major news points this week. There's a lot of talk at the minute about Jack Harrison potentially getting a new contract as Leeds United look to stave off interest from fellow Premier League competitors. Newcastle United, who are apparently really interested in the services of Jack Harrison, bringing him to St James's Park. What do you think on my Geordie accent there? Get it in the comment section below. But yeah, it'll be great to see Jack with a new contract. I thought he looked really good the other day at York City when Leeds United played Blackpool. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to stay on the left. I doubt it with Sinisterra. Now incoming with Leeds United, it looks like he might go over to the right, which is going to be fascinating to see. I like Jack cutting in on that left foot of his because he's got a wand of a left foot, a very pure technique, and it'd be great to see him on that side as well. That would obviously put a lot of strain on his right foot because that would mean he's got to get to the byline and supply Patrick Bamford as well. But I do quite like that, the instance of him cutting in his left-hand side. I think it worked for Raphinha. I think it'd work for Jack. I think cutting inside in between those half spaces, he could be utilised as well as a central attacking midfielder in those spaces as well because he's working centrally within those half spaces. So yeah, that would sort of that utilize the 4-3-2 system as well. I think we're going to see that from Sinisterra too. So yeah, that'd be great to see. I'd love to see Jack get a new contract. I think he's fully deserved it. As I say, consistency with Jack has always been my bugbear, as you guys know, but there is absolutely no doubt in the lad's quality. Shout out to Starbucks. Don't shout out to Starbucks. They put sugar in when they shouldn't have done. Okay, let's get on to the next thing. The big thing, the talking point. Raphinha, 72 million euros to 75 million euros has gone to Barcelona, or he's going to Barcelona, according to Fabrizio Romano, according to Ben Jacobs, according to all the top sources on the net. It was broke last night at around about 8 to 9 o'clock. Some people weren't believing it, which I completely understand because the saga has been ongoing for so long. But yeah, looks like he's going to be going. That's around about 64 to 65 million quid. It's good. It looks like Leeds United are going to be getting 55 to 57 million of it up front, which is absolutely critical because we know the loan sharks need to be sent to the Catalan giants because they owe dough. They owe dough. Apparently, they owe Frankie de Jong 17 million quid. They want but it's good that Leeds get the money up front. Even if it is dirty money, like we know it will be with Barcelona, it's still money through the door. It means Leeds have more capital. Leeds have more sort of ability to go and put the money down for the top targets. So that's great news. Thank God that is going to be over very, very soon. Chelsea Ketelaere, loads of rumours at the minute. I mean, Phil Phil came out and listen, I understand why people get hyped when Phil Hay comes on and says something about, any player. But, last night it was confirmed by several journalists. Then Phil sort of like tweeted out this morning about Raphinha, De Ketelaere, everybody on the Milan side, everybody on, via Germany and Austria and everybody in mainland Europe is reporting De Ketelaere wants the Milan move and they are sorting negotiations out as we speak. Phil has come on and said that Leeds are going to be pushing that agenda, still going for De Ketelaere, and everyone's getting really, really excited with that. It means absolutely nothing if De Ketelaere's representatives, his agent, whoever, are able to come to an agreement with AC Milan, which is his preferred destination. It doesn't matter if Leeds put 50, 60 million in. We've had this problem before. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. So, yeah, Phil sort of tweeted out this morning, put it on The Athletic. I put out on one Leeds from the Milan end that, Milan are very, very confident. People coming back to me, well, Phil said this, Phil said... It doesn't matter if Leeds are going in heavy. It doesn't matter if Leeds are able to then stick in 40, 50 million. Club Brugge have accepted Leeds United's bid. It's all about the terms. It's all about those final negotiations. And De Ketelaere wants the Milan move. I understand money in football talks, but I feel like at the minute we've got a huge nucleus of the side who want to play for Leeds United. They want to be in the Premier League. De Ketelaere is very, very Raphinha to Chelsea-esque. He doesn't want to come to Leeds. He doesn't seem to want that move. Apparently, he's always I was reading an article this morning on him, and apparently he's always really, really liked AC Milan. Apparently, he's based his game on Kaká. Apparently, he loves that side of it. So, listen... Unfortunately, they are Serie A champions. Unfortunately, they have Champions League football. And unfortunately, at the minute, it probably doesn't matter what Leeds United do. We're going to be out of that race. So I understand that we're going to lean in. I understand that we're looking... if the negotiation falls apart with De Ketelaere, fantastic. And then Leeds can move in. But it doesn't look like that's happening. It looks like the negotiations are getting to a point now where it's going to be signed, sealed, and delivered, really. So I just don't understand why Leeds are hanging on. I'm really hoping that we just move on to another target. Talking of other targets, Kalimwendo, we spoke about him on this channel a while ago, the PSG striker, who's been on loan at Lens for 2 seasons now, done extremely well. Very, very different in terms of striker profile to what Charles De Ketelaere is. De Ketelaere is very much of a modern forward. You look at someone like Phil Foden, you look at someone like Riyad Mahrez, you look at someone... some of the Jack Grealish, some of the midfielders that have been playing in that false 9 position, they've been playing in that striker position for years now. When they've been asked to, maybe not Grealish, but certainly in the case of Phil Foden, they've been asked to play in those second striker, the shadow striker role, false 9 role, because it's all about midfielders. It's not about... I think the number 9 is dying out right now, people. I really do. I think, when you get the likes of Lewandowski, Kane, Benzema moving on, I think you're going to get a very, very different profile of striker. Kalimwendo is of that striker, as in he's very off the shoulder, a number 9. Whereas Charles De Ketelaere, the beauty of him and the interesting thing about Leeds' interest in him is he can play anywhere along the front four. And that is where football is going nowadays. It's about versatility. It's about mobility within those sort of front 4 positions. And I think that's the way Leeds are clearly going. That modernised centre forward, if you will, slash every other position in that front line. And I think it also gives you a lot more options. It makes the play a lot more fluid as well, like you'll see with Harry Kane. I don't think he's a standardised number 9 because he will play and come back and start in central attacking midfield. He can go in centre midfield. We're seeing dropping in that position all the time. So that's the way the striker is going. Kalimwendo is of the old school striker. He's very off the shoulder, which is going to be an interesting dynamic with Patrick Bamford. I don't really know how that'll work because that is Bamford's game as well. Sometimes with a striker, historically, you'd have a number 9 and a number 10 or a number 9 and a number 8, and one would drop deep and the other would go beyond. But with those two, the games are very, very similar. So if we are to play a 4-2-3-1 formation, you would expect maybe Kalimwendo to be on the bench. It looks like from what Junior Firpo has said that Jesse Marsch is favouring the 4-2-3-1 formation. So yeah, I don't really know how that would work. At least with Charles De Ketelaere, you could, there could be an option for maybe Jack Harrison to sit out, or Sinistero or Brendan Aronson, and De Ketelaere to just run around and be sort of just in and behind the striker and in those sort of positions where, he takes up a more fluid role with a free roaming space. So yeah, interesting to see that the striker profiles are very different there, but Leeds seem to have very, very different profiles when it comes to managers, transition into strikers. So yeah, going to be interesting to see that one, definitely. Now, a lot of people talking about left backs, a lot of people talking about what Leeds are supposed to be doing. Now, let's get into this again because we always generation Leeds. It's been a good window. It's not been an excellent window, or it's not been a very good window yet. Because if Leeds United are to improve on a goalkeeper, an experienced goalkeeper, a left back, and bring in a top striker, that for me is a very, very good window. And you can't ask anything else of Victor Orta. He's got a decent price for Calvin Phillips, got a decent price for Raphinha. That combined total will be over 100 million quid. And the net spend of Leeds United hasn't been that bad. It's not been too extortionate, really. Yeah, Leeds have spent 90 to 95, but how much of that is actually net? They've taken money in, which is great. So what do they need to do? Because they've got the money now. I think they've always had the money. I think they need to go out and get a top striker. That's absolutely imperative, of course. But for me, and it also means that Jesse can vary his tactics a little bit. If you wanted to go with two up front, you bring another striker, that's great. If you want to do a 4-2-3-1, it narrows your options a little bit because you can only play with the one up top, unless he's versatile and mobile, like we keep going on about with Charles de Ketelaere. But I think we're in a good position, but it's not been a very good window from my perspective if we don't get a left back in. I say it multiple times on the channel. If we don't get a left back in, we've not really addressed the left back situation for years now. We've had Stuart Dallas playing there. The Junior Firpo signing for me hasn't worked out. I don't think it will work out. I'm hoping it does. But there's a lot of people who say, well, Connor, you've got to give him a chance. He's going to improve. I thought he was brilliant the other night. I thought he was really, really good. Still told you guys, I think defensively, he's definitely subject. He's 100% subject, one-on-one defending. And maybe this is because he got into football later on in life. He was notoriously a basketballer. Me and my dad were talking about the other day, got into football 13, 14. He's really poor at one-on-one defending. You even saw that against Blackpool when Josh Bowler was up against him. Beat him twice and Firpo was on his bottom there. So you do need to get another left back in to compete with him. I do think Leeds are looking at that, and I will say that. So it's not dead in the water. I can tell you that Leeds are looking at that. What they are looking at gives me a little bit of a smile, and will come out in due course, hopefully, if they stay on track. But yeah, I think that's an imperative position. They have to improve left back. It can't be a situation where we go into another season without a fully fledged left back and a left back who's going to be there. Everyone and like I was saying, guys, just went off tangent then. But Junior Firpo, he has to be available, fit and ready. The discipline is going to be a problem. It will be a problem. I think that's going to follow him around. I think that's always going to follow him around with his position, his spatial awareness, and his one-on-one defending. He's always going to commit and give fouls away. Don't just be thinking to yourself, he's played well against Blackpool. We're going to come up against much tougher opposition. Now, he's not going to Australia, which means that Leif Davis will be the only left back going. Leif Davis has been speaking to other clubs. Leif Davis, I told you guys on here 2 weeks ago, has been speaking to Ipswich for a while now. They want to get him over the line. So that will leave Leeds with no left backs aside from Junior Firpo. If he's to move and Junior Firpo is injured, there's been a lot of talk about it being COVID, precaution, or whatever. But if Junior Firpo is injured for an extended period of time and Leif Davis is to move on, Leeds will not have a left back at the club. You cannot rely on Leo Yelder and Junior Firpo to be left backs in the best league in the world. Leo Yelder has played at left back twice in Premier League football. He's not mobile enough to be getting up and down and doing those overlapping runs and to be getting in advanced positions like we saw with Junior Firpo the other night. The big problem, as I've just said, with Junior Firpo is not only, in my opinion, is it his ability and his concentration, focus, etc., in the best league in the world, but it's his injury record. It's not good. It's not good. He's not available for selection enough. And when you've got such thin options on the ground, Leeds are going to suffer because the wingers in this division are unbelievable. And more in Premier League football and in football generally, are you getting fullbacks and wingers who are becoming real problems. The problems don't come in central areas. A lot of players expansive. It's wide football. You look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, you look at Kyle Walker, Cancelo, all the best operators in the Premier League are fullbacks and they come from out wide. So you've got to look at that. If they don't do that, that's a problem. That's a big, big problem. So I know Leeds fans are getting really, really excited and people call me negative, which I've banned on my channel, by the way. That word does my absolute head in. And I think it's an excuse for people not to hit reality sometimes. I've banned the word, can't be bothered with it. But this is Leeds United going into a season prepared, right? So you cover all bases. You can't just get excited because we bought some glowy signings and we've done really, really well so far. But if Leeds don't address the left back situation, that is a big, big problem. Experienced goalkeeper. I'm now seeing people say we don't need an experienced goalkeeper. As I always say on this channel, football's subjective. Of course it is. But you're going to see continued problems in that region if we do not bring another one. And you cannot have a deputy of Christopher Clarkson. You can't, because you've seen him against Blackpool and he was unhinged in that second half. football is very it's very reactionary, and it's based on recent performances. You know what I mean? I remember after the Wolves game, everybody was saying give Klaassen a chance because Melia made a couple of mistakes. Your Klaassen played half of football in very odd situations. You got to look at the holistic. You got to look at the general, the big picture. So you need to be, Illan Meslier needs to be able to go in at halftime. If he's made a mistake, talk to an experienced goalkeeper. And that experienced goalkeeper needs to provide competition. In most Premier League sides, there are 3 goalkeepers under the age of 20 or under the age of 21. You have to have experience in there. And hence why it looks like Leeds are looking at an experienced goalkeeper. So you sort of left back out, you sort of striker out, you sort of an experienced goalkeeper out, and it's been an absolutely unbelievable window. Guys, have a good one. Let me know what you think.